What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Jay Willie Silly, man. AKA Mr. Take It Easy for you in dark like busy. But make sure I follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay, it's in the description down below. You know what I'm saying? We will be going back live on Twitch tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in to your boy. But killer husband realizes wife is still breathing. Y'all, how many times do I do videos like these right here? And it's always somebody close, killing somebody close. Majority of my videos is always things of this nature. And I'm not gonna lie, it's probably sad to say, but videos like this kind of make me paranoid a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, you rarely hear about strangers killing strangers. It's always daughters killing mothers. It's always dads killing children. It's always, I did a video a couple of days ago. That was crazy. A random kid did go into a random lady's house, you know what I mean, and killed her and inked her. You know what I'm saying? So that was a crazy crime. But I'm just saying 98% of the stories that I do, be things like this. And it's like, that's what I say, y'all. You gotta really, like marriage is a lifetime commitment. And I feel like a lot of people get married to people they truly don't know. It takes a while to know a person. I don't know why in America everybody be so, it's like I said, and I said this before and I'm gonna say it again, it's always a time stamp when it comes to America. I gotta have a kid before 25. I gotta get married before 30. It's like, why? Why do you feel like you have to have certain things done by a certain age? The way that Americans live is so unrealistic. It makes no sense. It's like everybody just made up a rule and now everybody being delusional and running with it. Everybody want to get married so fast because you feel like I got to get married before this right here. Shout out, if you ain't ready to get married, don't get married, shout. I don't understand why some women be like, well, it ain't gonna take me years, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna keep it real. 2 years tops is what I need, you know what I'm saying, to know you for real. Cause like I said, bro, people are like chameleons. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. The beginning is always sweet and cool. You know what I'm saying? But when it gets to a couple months in, that's when her true self come out. That's when his true self come out. See, a lot of y'all ignore the red flags. A lot of y'all never held yourself accountable before. You don't hold yourself accountable. So guess what? You're not going to hold that person you're with accountable. So that's why a lot of y'all marriages don't work, because you never worked in within. See, for me, I'm in the stage working within. When it comes to God, I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I'm right by that. But you got to hold yourself accountable so you won't have to deal with it with another person. You got to deal with within, so you won't have to deal with that with another person. A lot of people always overlook red flags because they like that person so much. They want them to work out so bad, so they overlook that red flag. When a person show you who they truly are, you overlooked it. I can promise you this man right here showed signs of being a killer, but she overlooked it. I'm telling you, God always gives you warning before something happens to you. I'm telling y'all right now. Even when it comes to my hair on Beezy, this is off the topic. You know what I'm saying? I was in the freaking hair salon. I go to the same hair salon store right beside my barbershop. I was using the same freaking product. If y'all don't know, Melee. So I kept on using it. I kept on wondering, bro, why is my hair falling out, gang? It was so much hair falling out. But I just thought this is what it was, you know what I'm saying? Hair just falling out. This is what it was when they get to washing. Shoot, one day, you know what I'm saying? I went to the beauty salon store and a lady just told me off the blue. Yeah, man, people been complaining about Melee, man, making people hair fall out. So either God, what I'm trying to get to you right here is God never leads you astray. He never gonna let you lead astray, ever. He always gonna give you a warning. Now it's up to you to take heed to that warning. Is you gonna ignore the warning, or is you gonna take heed to it? A lot of y'all ignore the warning. And sometimes God even bless you. A lot of times God even bless you with multiple warnings. A lot of situations that y'all be in, bro, when it comes to bad marriages, bad relationships or whatnot, be because of you, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. Once you start looking in the mirror, understanding that most of the decisions and most of the things that's happened to you is because of you, things will start to change.
Early
But if
morning
you
hours.
never take accountability, bro, your life just never gonna change. It's always gonna be negative.
Valentine's Day 2019, a woman named Olivia
Take
Jones
your time, bro.
worked
Get
as a
married,
local
bro.
supermarket known as HEB Plus in preparation for dinner with her husband Chris.
Always so
As
fast.
she gathered the ingredients, she observed a bouquet of pink and red roses, colors that symbolize tenderness and passion. As Olivia exited the store with the roses in her cart, she was unaware that in less than 40 minutes, she would be dead. A horrible consequence of so-called toxic love. The police would find her on her bedroom floor in a quiet neighborhood in Beaumont, Texas. 11 minutes earlier, her loving husband Chris dialed 911.
Beaumont 911. What is the address of your emergency? Olivia! Please, hurry. Someone take the gun. Tell me what's going on. I'm at home. My wife been shot in the head. Please, somebody shot in the head. My wife, please. Tell me, where is she shot? In the head. Okay, where in the head? Take it and it went off. Okay. I want you to try to control the bleeding.
As soon as the call disconnected, officers headed on their way to the Beaumont, Texas home of Chris and Olivia, located at 5575 Pine Bur Boulevard. At 8:55 a.m., they arrived. Officer Otis Butler was met by a familiar face, 40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones, who was visibly distressed. Officer Butler was close friends with Chris and his wife Olivia. His body cam was rolling while Chris urged the officers to hurry into the house.
In the house. Where's the gun?
In the bedroom, broken down on the dresser. Come this way.
Okay.
Please, come this way. This way.
Okay.
Please. Olivia!
As alluded to earlier, the officers made their way to the bedroom and found Olivia lying on the floor.
Baby!
Sir. Okay. Sit back.
What's up, Mr. Butler? I tried to take it.
Get his.
Mom!
Olivia was found face down with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Astonishingly, she was still breathing. When the officers rolled her over, they discovered that the bullet had pierced through her right eye. The room she was found in was covered in blood, with spatter all over the walls. The paramedics arrived, and while they tended to Olivia, the police secured the area. Officer Butler had Chris walk him through the events leading up to the shooting.
What happened? We had a disagreement. And I say, baby, if you're not working with me, you're working against me. I say, we've been doing this. My 19-year-old stepdaughter was 8. My 11-year-old was 1. I say, Olivia, if we can't get it together, we can't be together. Okay. We got several beliefs. And I say, I just want a divorce. And her reaction was, she got the gun? I said, give me the gun. She like, I don't remember which hand. I'm like, give me that gun. What is you doing? Stop trying to scare me. I took it.
So when you grabbed it, it went off?
She yanked. I grabbed it and she yanked back. And the gun went off.
Okay.
The gun went off.
Chris's story immediately set off red flags. How could such a large man be overpowered by his significantly smaller wife? Chris dropped to his knees in anguish, but there were no tears as he asked Officer Butler if he could go check on Olivia.
Mr. Butler, I got help.
No. You don't need to go in there, okay?
Is she alive?
Yeah, she is.
She is.
We got him.
Is she alive, Mr. Butler?
When we went in there,
Please don't tell me she alive if she not.
Yeah, when I saw her, she was.
She was
That she was talking, that boy breathed and freaking. You know what I'm saying? That boy right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That boy freaking. That boy, you know what I'm saying? Freaking. I could see his soul leave his body at that moment. She alive. Please don't tell me she alive, Mr. Butler. She ain't alive. Hold on, Mr. Butler. I gotta go in there and help her right quick. That boy finna kill everybody. Probably finna kill himself in the process, but you better hold that boy down. You know what I mean? She alive. In the head. What you mean she alive? I shot in the back of the head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine, man. It's like, that gotta be the most evilest and demonic thing. You doing all this, dropping on the floor and crying, doing all this, knowing that you the one that shot her in the head. She was probably the one that asked for the divorce. And you being crazy, most likely shot her in the head. Not most likely you did shoot her in the head. But what was the reason why you shot her in the head? I'm thinking it's a divorce. I'm thinking that story that you telling was actually her side of the story. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, ladies. Look to that man that you sitting with right now. If he ever put his hands on you, leave. Don't ever make an excuse for a man putting his hands on you, because it's only going to get worse. I've never, ever, and I never will put my hands on my girl. Ever. I don't care if she's slapping me down. I'm going to grab her hands and I'm getting the freak out. I'm leaving her. I would never be with a woman that puts her hands on me. But I would never, ever, I never will respect a man. All you men that hit women, but you're goofy. You got these men nowadays, equal rights, equal fights. But you was a goofy. You soft. You pie. Trying to make an excuse to hit a woman, but you ain't gonna hit a man like that. Man backslapping, you gonna think twice about it though. Right, when a woman do it, here you go trying to act all big and bad. That's one thing I realize about a lot of y'all dudes, and that's why a lot of y'all girlfriends, you feel me, be walking around like your dude tough, because he's tough with you. Get his butt folded out here. And then we get punished on, and get smacked up on, and get treated. You looking at him like, what's going on? Because he was never that tough to begin with. He just tough with you, shawty. He don't scare us, he scare you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all women be walking around like your boyfriend. Man, my boyfriend don't play. All right, come around here playing game. I'm going to show you. I'm going to see if he play for real. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about me when I like tough guys, bro. But I'm working on self-control, though. But it's something about tough guys I like. I want to show you that he not tough. I did it before. Went to jail for it. I regret doing it. But he tried to act tough in front of his girlfriend. I had to show his girlfriend that he ain't tough. All that popping it had made bro bleed, freaking threw up. You know, spirit of anger coming out. God, help me, Lord, help me. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm working on self-control. You know what I'm saying? But just best believe, bro, try to show out in front of his girl. Next minute, I know he threw up in my pants. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying, bro. The real ones, bro, the ones that's really like that, never loud. We ain't finna be tough with you, bro. We let women have it. I ain't finna go back and forth with no woman, bro. I ain't finna argue with you. I'm gonna walk away from them. That's what real mans do. We walk away from women. We don't hit women and we don't argue with them. So if a man argue with a woman, but that's female-ish. You hit a woman, but you a goofy. I don't know. You can't make me feel, bro. You can't make me feel right about the equal rights, the equal fights, you don't. Man, every man that agree with that, but you straight pie. Hit my sister. Hit my mama. You gonna hit the wrong mama. You hit the wrong sister one day. Hit my mama. Hit my sister. Yeah, YouTuber. I'm just looking at anybody's eyes, bro. Anybody that hit a woman, bro, I'm looking at your daddy's eyes, you believe it or not. Make this YouTube sweet. Hit my mama. Hit my sister. I be wanting to look your daddy's eyes, tell you I'm serious.
You don't need to go in there, okay?
Is she alive?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to scare you, partner. Keeping it a bees.
Mr. Butler. Please don't tell me.
I just be having, you know.
That's all she was.
She was talking?
She wasn't talking.
Is she breathing?
It looked like she was breathing.
Ooh, good.
Like, don't go in there, sir.
Please.
Sir, I need you to stay right here with me, okay? And calm down.
Calm down.
Upon learning that Olivia was still breathing, Chris's reaction seemed strangely devoid of relief or happiness. Another red flag for Officer Butler. Back inside the home, Olivia's wounds proved to be fatal, and just after 9 a.m., she was pronounced dead. Officers searched the rest of the home and noticed that in addition to the surveillance cameras installed on the exterior of the house, there were 2 more cameras mounted in the living room, monitoring the interior of the house as well. They also discovered the gun that Olivia was shot with, a 9mm pistol covered in blood. However, they found it strange that the gun was in a different room from where the shooting took place. If Olivia was holding the gun when it went off, how did it end up in a different room? The only logical answer was that Chris must have moved it. Following this discovery, the officers decided that the best course of action was to detain Chris until they had a better understanding of what really happened. As Chris was getting handcuffed, his 19-year-old daughter, Ariel, arrived at the house. She had already been contacted by Chris, who told her what had happened. She was clearly devastated.
Go with this officer right here.
While the officers tried to console Ariel, Chris was escorted to the back of a police cruiser. Lead Detective Mendy Freeman and Sergeant Yvette Barrero of the Forensics Unit arrived at the residence and were immediately caught up to speed.
According to him, she grabs a 9mm in their bedroom. She did that. He claims he reached for the gun to try to get it from her. When he reached for it and they struggle over it, boom.
At that moment, Olivia's sister Angela arrived at the scene, and Ariel once again broke out into hysterics. All of the evidence was collected and sent to the crime lab. Chris was brought down to the station where they took photos of his hands still covered in blood.
They're waiting for the lead detectives. They're going to be the ones that actually interview you, so.
When the detectives finally arrived at the station, they started Chris's interview by asking him what
Crazy.
caused the argument. He said that he felt as if Olivia wasn't pulling her weight in the relationship.
I am very particular. If you heard that, that's true. I am very particular. You strive for the best for people. I work really hard, and I don't make excuses for myself, and I don't accept excuses for anybody else.
After telling her that he wanted a divorce, she went to the bedroom and grabbed the gun.
What did you say?
Really? You serious? Really? This is not going to solve anything.
Okay.
You know, this is not, you do not want to do that. Put that freaking gun down before you make a mistake and hurt yourself. She was crying. She was crying.
Chris handed over his cell phone, which had access to the home security camera footage.
Say, if you want to access just that camera, you touch that. And that's just that camera. Okay. You follow what I'm saying?
So far, let's go back to devices.
Yes, sir. And everything is labeled.
Carport, backyard, front door, back door, laundry room, inside garage, living room, kitchen.
The police examined this footage, hoping to corroborate Chris's story. At 8:41 a.m., Olivia can be seen going about her morning routine in the kitchen. Then, all of a sudden, the footage cuts out. 3 minutes later, at 8:44 a.m., the video is back up, and Chris is captured frantically pacing around the house while on the phone with 911. 11 minutes later, at 8:55 a.m., the responding officers can be seen entering the residence. That means that Olivia must have been shot during this 3-minute gap in the footage. In the interrogation room, Chris was asked why this footage was missing. He claimed that he had no idea.
We're still trying to pull up these videos here, okay? Why would there be no recordings on them?
I don't know. It should be. Everybody that went in that house should be on it. But like I said, the internet, you can go through days and it pretty much does it. We shouldn't have bought that. You just keep, like, you can pick whatever day you want and it's never going to be consistent. That's why I said it was a waste of money.
Well, I'm wanting desperately to find some video on here that corroborates what you're telling us, but almost all the videos start right after this event happened.
Chris had a bunch of excuses, from internet problems to not charging the camera properly, but at this point, the detectives were taking anything Chris said with a grain of salt. It seemed more likely that Chris, the only one with access to the footage, had tampered with it. Since they did not have the video, they had Chris reenact the moment that he tried to disarm Olivia.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it. Give me the. Okay, and I go. I'm sorry.
You're good.
No, you're good.
I want the chair.
I'm sorry. You're fine.
I like the chair, man.
I'm reliving it.
You are.
I'm reliving it.
So she should be shot in the back of her right head.
Did you feel me twist your? Did you feel me twist?
Back here.
Did you feel me twist your?
We're still
I twisted.
With each question asked, it seems as if Chris was improvising the answer.
I twisted. You know what I'm saying? You're pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly. And then you see how I twisted? He had to change the story. So you had to shoot her in the back of the head. Yeah. I twisted it. You know what I'm saying? Now you're twisted now. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, look, man. You know what I'm saying? If you let this man walk out free, it's going to be a problem.
Trying to make the puzzle pieces fit together rather than telling the truth. The detectives ended their initial interview feeling more suspicious of Chris than ever. They then moved on to other members of the family, starting with Olivia's sister, Angela.
Olivia Jones is your sister, right? We've been talking a lot lately. We talk every day. I drop her baby to her at the tax office. She's always been timid about everything. But she was the type that whatever went on in their home, she would keep it there.
Yeah. She's kind of a private.
Right, private person.
Yeah.
She loved her baby so much that she felt like she had to live for them. You know, she would never.
Angela went on to reveal the extent of Chris's control over Olivia.
She can't talk on the phone after a certain time. He controlled the finances. He never wanted to be in the presence of her family reunions, anything. He never came. But she would have to step off, and when he would call, and all you could hear was him screaming and yelling on the phone. His character is agitation.
I'm saying, like, why? Relationship, I promise y'all, was showing sign, like, why? It was something like that. Then I'm telling you, she wanted a divorce, and that's when he snapped and shot in the head. I'm telling you, bro. But I can promise you, it was signs of this. Signs of this. And one thing that a lot of women do is y'all take heed to the word sorry so bad. It's like you pay attention, you hear what he says, but his actions, ladies, start looking at what a man does rather than what he says. Why are y'all so infatuated with words? I don't know if that's because y'all just so emotional, but it's like, why? How many men told you that they're sorry and their actions showed otherwise, but yet you still going out with this man? You still, like, how many red flags do you need? It's like, I don't care how good the sex is. Good sex isn't love. Good sex isn't love, bro. If a man is putting his hands on you, if a man is cheating on you, if a man is doing all these things, that's not love. Just because I say I love you, that don't mean I love you. There's a lot of men that tell y'all women, okay, I love you, but their actions prove otherwise. They tell you they sorry, but then their actions prove otherwise. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. You know how easy it is to say I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, and then guess what? 3 days later, what I just said I'm sorry for, I do it again. And yet you still with this person? Red flags, that's what I'm saying. It's the little things, y'all, that you got to pay attention to. But y'all always brushing it off. Brushing it off. Brushing it off. When a person show you who they are, believe them. And I'm going to keep bringing this up. Like I said, I don't care if Shawty watching this video. I'm going to bring you up as many times as I want to, Shawty, because this is my YouTube. Nobody knows your name. But if you're watching, you know. When I corrected a girl's behavior, a woman's behavior, like I told y'all, this woman right here always does this. She done this so many times. But this time I got fed up with it. This was a girl I was just, wasn't my girlfriend or nothing. I knew not to cuff her, bro. Wasn't my girlfriend or nothing. It's a girl that been on and off with. You know what I mean? Just a, whatever, talking, whatever. No, I mean, it wasn't even that. It was just something, I don't know. I don't know what the freak that was. But this girl, I don't know how many times this girl asked me to do something and then just canceled it. So it's like, that shows me, first, you're not mature. Second, you don't think my time is valuable. You think my time revolves around you. And then when I checked her on it, she couldn't even hold herself. She couldn't even say she's sorry. She tried to argue with it. She called me disrespectful because I checked her on it. So that showed me right there, you're not a woman of accountability. And then she tried to manipulate me with scripture. That right there showed me you're a manipulator. She don't even know that I was literally like taking notes and just dotting. She don't even know it. She don't even know, like, that right there X you out completely. But what I'm going to do, ignore the manipulation? I'm going to ignore the taking accountability? I'm going to ignore the immatureness? I'm going to ignore that and marry that woman? Be with that woman? I'm going to just shrug off the red flags when God's showing me completely? This is who she is? Heck no. You know what I'm saying? Where she at today? Nowhere to be found? You ain't gonna get far with Jay, I'm telling you right now. And shout out, like I said, if you watching this video, you know I kept it real. You know what I'm saying? Kept it realer than real. It's a within problem you got to deal with, shawty. But all I'm saying is, though, bro, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Don't get with him. Don't get with her just because she look good, bro. Beauty is more than looks. Handsome is more than looks. Action, I'm telling you. A person can only pretend for so long. His or her true self gonna come out. It's up to you to ignore it. It's up to you to take heed to it. What you gonna do? See, most of y'all ignore it. I can promise you he was like this before they got married. I can promise you. But she still ended up marrying this man. I can promise you. He ain't just become that, bro. He ain't just become that, bro, when they married him. When they got married. He ain't just become that. He been like that. But she still married him. You know why? Because she thought he loved her.
Is to be aggressive. I just don't get it. Because all she wanted, my sister was a married type. All she wanted was to be loved.
See?
Yeah. All she loved love. Like she loved her babies. She wanted to live for her babies.
To make matters worse, Chris's ex-wife Letitia,
She's so desperate for love.
back in 1999,
She gonna
corroborated his pattern of controlling and aggressive behavior.
I met Chris Jones in 1999. It was just like a constant fight. Like he strangled me, choked me out, drugged me through the house. My skin was missing off my back. One time he bit my hand. He had this bite marks in my hand. This was what it was. If the house not clean, he's told me that he would kill me if I was to ever leave him. Told me how he would do it. The reason I never said anything or went for help was because I was extremely in fear of my life. Because I knew and I felt in my heart that he would kill me.
And most damning of all were the allegations made by Olivia's daughter Ariel during her interview. She explained what it was like living at the house with her mom and Chris.
One time they were arguing and I heard her say she couldn't breathe. I would see bruises on her. It broke her down to the point where she believed what he said. Mm-hmm. You won't be nothing without me, stuff like that. Right. Everybody knows my mom. Everybody knows my mom. Everybody knows that we were her world.
With each person interviewed, the allegations against Chris were stacking higher and higher. They doubled back with him, urging him to tell the truth about what actually happened to
But you gotta love y'all self, boy. Low self, that's another thing too, bro. I heard where they said she just wanted to be loved. Low self-esteem. A lot of people don't really love themselves. That's why I gotta understand about that, bro. A lot of people really don't. The people that deal with stuff like this, long love her, man. But the people that deal with stuff like this don't even love themselves. They don't love themselves. Person with high self-esteem and with high self-love never would deal with this, bro. Ever. If you ever been cheated on, bro, you took her back, bro, you got low self-esteem. Don't lie to yourself. Cheating ain't a mistake. He knew she cheated on you, and she knew she cheated on you, bro. You know what I mean? Accidentally, you're not accidentally texting somebody, because cheating is more than just physical and intimacy. You texting somebody and flirting with somebody, that's cheating, bro. That's emotional cheating. You got different types of cheating. You got intimate cheating, you got emotional cheating, you got all type of cheating. But y'all think that it's just cheating when having sex. You entertaining another male or another female, that's cheating. Point blank period. And you find out all the evidence that he or she cheated and you still choose to stay with him. It's funny how they think a cheater not gonna be a cheater. What, bro? So bro been cheating on you for like 4 or 5 times. He's just gonna stop cheating on you now?
the missing footage.
Bro been beating on you for 4 or 5 times. He just gonna stop now all of a sudden.
I look guilty. I deleted those videos. I look guilty.
Not if you say right now.
He is guilty,
but
bro.
You just say a little while ago, I freaked out. I panicked. I did some stuff I shouldn't have done. Is that one of them?
Yes.
How many did you delete?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just afraid of being blamed for something I did do something that looks really bad on me.
While the confession was a much-needed win for the detectives, there was still no trace of those crucial 3 minutes of footage. However, the detectives did their due diligence. They spent the days combing through all available footage from the house to see for themselves what daily life was like for the Jones family. In these recordings, the true nature of Chris and Olivia's relationship was on full display.
Then you're gonna be looking stupid. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor, wife. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the how is that like that? You're not paying attention. Look, please.
Hey, Leah.
You wasn't worried about the son of a bitch a minute ago.
Bro, who you is talking to her like she your kid, bro? I've never in my life talked to a woman like that. And you gonna stay with this man? This love? And another thing that y'all men be doing, I'm gonna call out y'all men, bro. Bro, stop thinking your woman your child, bro. Woman ain't your child, but a lot of y'all men, bro, think cause you men, you just supposed to be the alpha male or something, bro. You don't get your little fake alpha male on somewhere, bro. See, a real man loves his wife. A real man wants his wife to lead in certain situations. A real man loves for his wife to help him. A real man never talks to a real man love his wife. A real man not gonna try to belittle his wife, but try to build up his wife. That's what a real man do. All that you trying to talk to her, that's one thing, boy, y'all need to stop doing, boy. You not her daddy, boy. Freaking you talking about God calls y'all as one. God made Eve to help Adam because he knew Adam needed help. They here to make you a better man. Men nothing without women. I'm just keeping it a beezy, bro. Who you freak you men be thinking y'all is, bro? Just because you got some balls, bro. You got a penis, bro. And that's just what make you make you a man, bro. You gotta lead by example. If you want a woman to submit to you, bro, you gotta be a good leader, bro. Just because you're a man, that'll make you an automatic leader. There's a lot of women that's better leader than men. Simple as that. They think just because you a man, oh man, God created Adam first. Okay? Adam wasn't even a leader either. He let Eve eat the apple. If he was a true leader, bro, you would have, hey, where you get that fruit from, Eve? Now, we ain't eating that fruit. You know what I'm saying? If anything, if Adam was a good leader, Adam would have, you know what I'm saying? Instructed Eve a little bit more better. Still let Eve eat out. So just because you a man, bro, that'll make you a good leader. God made us to be leaders. Made us to be that. A lot of y'all lack leadership qualities, but yet you want a woman to submit to you. Because I'm a man. Hey, bro, you know, saying you a man is different from actually being a man. Gotta actually be a man now. Know what I mean? Not just say it. You know what I mean? Just keeping it real. A lot of y'all boys. Keeping it bees, bro. Keep it real, bro. But you know what them goofies gonna say? Oh, bro, you simping out. What them goofies gonna say? Them goofies don't like real, boy. They don't like real. I be on women's heels too. You feel me, boy? Right? When you start saying something about that me, you start hurting their pride, hurting their ego. Oh, bro, he on that simp jump, boy. He on that simp jump to it. Nah, but I just move. I was raised by a real man, bro, so I move like a real man, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. I'm just a real one. All across the board. Right is right, is wrong is wrong. I don't play in between, homie. I don't pick and choose side. I keep it real. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong, and I'm going to call it out for what it is. Stop thinking that this woman your child. It's a grown woman, boy. You a grown man. Talking to her like she his child or something. Oof, the audacity. I ain't finna try to tell my woman nothing. I never been that type. I would ask her, hey, baby, think you can clean the lid for me? You know what I'm saying? I'll ask her because she a grown woman. I ain't finna tell her, bro, look at the floor. Talking to her like she your child or something. She's just taking it too, bro. Y'all making me mad, bro. I promise you, bro, a man would never with my mama. Ever.
That's your mother. Look at me like that, bitch. I'm not playing with you. Lazy. You want to do something not enough? Listen, give it here. You got all the goddamn answers. You don't do a goddamn thing around this life. This your ass, bitch. Clean this, that's clean.
I didn't want to. They fell on the floor, so I didn't want to reuse them.
You look at it. You don't pay attention to what the f- you doing. You all over the place, Olivia. You ain't got the chance to claim no f***ing. Food on the wall. Who you bringing now?
Me?
Harriet don't live here. It's you. It'll always be you.
Chris would take any chance that he could to bully Olivia, constantly putting her worth into question, even humiliating her in front of her own daughter.
When I got the show hands, you didn't have a job. You collected unemployment. You just had off. And most men in this world want a woman that got what? You wouldn't be doing this if I wouldn't have got upset. You would have bagged that. Life would be so much easier for me if you start thinking. You do dumb because you don't think.
This footage shed light on Chris's true colors and confirmed the allegations of abuse from Olivia's family. Detectives also looked into Chris's criminal records and discovered that he had a history of violent charges, including multiple assaults in 1996 and a domestic assault in 1998, which landed him in jail for a brief period of time. Even though they were still waiting for ongoing forensic analysis results, authorities believed that they had enough evidence to place charges against Chris.
News this morning, a Beaumont man is now facing murder charges in a Valentine's Day shooting of his wife. Police say this man, Christopher Ray Jones, who worked as a correctional counselor at the Beaumont Federal Prison, killed his wife, Olivia.
Chris was charged with first-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April of 2019. But unexpectedly, within 24 hours after being charged, he was released on a $150,000 bond and was put under house arrest with a GPS monitor.
Now a man charged with murdering his wife is back at their home.
40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones was arrested and charged with shooting his wife in the face on Valentine's Day. His bond was set at $150,000. He paid and is now out.
Many taking to social media to voice their concerns, stating things like, "Can't believe he's out on a $150,000 bond. That's crazy. What's wrong with our system?" And "Can't believe they would make his bond so low that he got out. He should not be walking the streets."
While out on bail, Christopher...
And I'm going to go and say this, bro. See, a lot of y'all, and I'm going to go and instruct you how God works. So, like I said, I pray all the time, God, shed your light on me. You know what I'm saying? And just let me inform y'all. You know what I mean? Like I said, I realized what this shoots his wife in the head, put under mental health watch in jail, and releasing all. You have that right. Thanks for letting victims of domestic violence know they can count on you. State your opinion. You know what I'm saying? State your opinion. How you feel is how you feel. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, never judge anybody, bro, on what they do, bro. Ever. Anybody. Never think you're better than anybody. I don't care if this man murdered many women. I don't care if this man did anything. Don't judge him, bro. See how you feel. Like I said, I just said how I feel. But one thing I ain't gonna do, I ain't gonna judge Chris. I still love Chris. I love all my brothers and my sisters, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like this, but you got closer with God. You know what I'm saying? You start, like I said, you start seeing the world in God's view. That's up to God, bro. That ain't up to me. What I think he did was wrong. But you got to understand, bro, how it is with God. Every sin is equal. So you being a liar make you just as bad as that murderer. But in human eyes, they put the lying right here and they put the murdering right here. But God look at everything the same. God looking at you right now. How is you judging this murderer when you a liar? Whole time in humans' eyes, how can you compare me to a murderer? You a sinner. What give you the right to judge anybody? I don't care if that man that killed 30 women. You lied 30 times. That woman, he killed 30 women, but you lied 30. Therefore, you just as bad as him. In God's eyes, you just as bad. But look at you judging. Thinking you better. Whole time, this bastard that lied like over 30 times. Whole time, this bastard is a slanderer. Whole time, you are adulterous. Whole time, you a drunkard. Whole time, you all these sins. But just because I ain't murdered somebody, that means I'm pure. Don't mistake it. Just because you a good person to the world don't mean you a good person to God now. A lot of good people going to hell. But I'll be talking, do I, boy? I'll be talking now. I'll be trying to inform y'all how God be rolling now. You better get in that word. That you a good person in the world's view, but in God's view, you terrible. That's what I'm saying. I just live a life. So, you know, people be like, bro, how you can't judge? I'm just saying, bro, I know God, bro, and I know how he roll. So I just got to check myself. Yeah, man, what he did was bad, but guess what? You know what I'm saying? And I even felt bad what I was saying earlier. I got to ask for forgiveness what I just said earlier. You know what I'm saying? I felt myself getting angry, bro. Saying, oh yeah, touch my sister, touch my wife. You know what I'm saying? Touch my mom. Let that be my mom. And I'm trying to change that. You feel me? You feel me? So it's, boy, God changed me, boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it real. I felt guilty about that. I asked for forgiveness after I get on the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm just be trying to inform y'all, bro. No, don't look down on Chris. What he did was wrong for Sholioli. Should he get justice for Sholioli? He should get light behind bars. I want him to see behind the bars. But one thing I ain't gonna never do, bro, is look at Chris any different, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna judge Chris. I ain't gonna do nothing. But guess what? I'm a sinner, bro.
Was allowed to continue operating the
I ain't
Jones
in that
family
right, bro.
business, a food truck called One Plate at a Time. The
Deal
judge
wrong.
allowed Chris to work well out on bail since the food truck is directly beside his home.
And then guess what? It's another thing, y'all. If he out on bail, just because it's not gonna save him from the consequence, if he out on bail, right? He could change his life around. And God will forgive him right there. But you humans, you feel like you can't forgive him, but God forgive him though. You can't forgive him, but God forgive him. Who is you to God, bro? God forgive him. He could have changed his life. Him sitting in that jail, bro, could have completely changed. Whole time he not that same Chris. You know what I'm saying? That shot his wife. But it's all humans look at. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, bro. You never know, bro. Just, you know.
However, this decision was controversial amongst Olivia's family and the community. They knew Chris was the only person with Olivia at the time of her death, and they all seemed to believe that he had killed her.
This food truck on Concord Road in Beaumont is a hot topic on social media. It's not generating rave reviews from many, but condemnation from a grieving family.
I don't see how would anyone want to support someone who murdered their wife on Valentine's Day, which is a day that we are supposed to celebrate love. And the day that she was going to celebrate that with him, he decides to take her life.
Chris's image was tainted even further when the results from the crime lab came in. The bloodstain patterns at the crime scene indicated that the gunshot wound could not have happened in the way that Chris described it. Additionally, investigators found no gunshot residue on Olivia's hands, indicating that there was no way she was holding the gun when it went off. There was, however, gunshot residue on Chris's hands and clothing. Despite all of the evidence pointing towards Chris, he pled not guilty to his charges. But before his trial would take place, Olivia's family held a gathering to honor her memory.
This Valentine's Day,
Praying for you.
purple and red balloons filled Rogers Park.
Purple means domestic violence, and red was one of her favorite colors.
1 year ago today, Joshua Simmons lost his sister.
Valentine's Day was one of her favorite holidays.
I would give almost anything to have her back right now.
What's this year been like for you and your family?
If you can wrap it up in one word, it would be frustrating.
Frustrated with the fact that Jones isn't behind bars. Now the family wants to raise awareness for domestic violence, but more than anything, they want justice for Olivia.
We want him to spend the rest of his life in prison.
For sure.
While my sister spend the rest of her life in the grave.
For sure.
After finally...
There's one thing about me, bro. I'm not against justice at all, for sure. Definitely need to be in that cell. Oh, he need to be in that cell for sure, y'all.
An opportunity to celebrate Olivia's life, her loved ones would once again have to face her death during Chris's upcoming trial. The courtroom was packed with family members from both sides. It had been over 3 years since Olivia's death, and despite the clear tension between the two families, they all wanted the same thing: justice for Olivia. Prosecutors Jimmy Ham and Mike Laird described Chris as an abusive partner with a violent past, and it was only a matter of time before something like this happened. Chris's defense attorney, Ryan Gertz, argued that Chris only grabbed the gun because Olivia was recklessly handling the weapon.
See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. These attorneys right here, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's y'all job, bro. I don't understand how y'all do y'all job, bro. One thing I gotta say, like, defense attorneys, bro. Imagine trying to defend somebody knowing they did it. Imagine trying to get somebody free from justice. It's just something I couldn't do, bro. I couldn't do it. I can't be a defense attorney. You know, they got marriage attorneys. They got all type of different attorneys. But a defense attorney, bro, I feel so guilty.
Putting both herself and Chris in a dangerous predicament. Forensic pathologist Celestina Rossi provided critical bloodstain analysis and confirmed that Olivia did not have any gunshot residue on her, contradicting the defense's claims that her death was merely an accident. The testimonies and evidence combined ultimately overpowered the defense team, and on February 8, 2022, Christopher Ray Jones was found guilty for the murder of his wife, Olivia Jones.
1,118 days. That's how long Olivia Jones's family says they've waited for this moment. The moment when Olivia's husband, Christopher Jones, was found guilty of murder. Olivia died at the hands of her husband on Valentine's Day 2019, and instead of spending a lifetime behind bars,
we elected to agree with the state to a 30-year sentence because of the potential risk of, an even higher sentence.
In exchange, Christopher waived his right to appeal the conviction. After the judge handed down this sentence, Olivia and Christopher's 2 daughters took the stand. Looking directly at their father, they described the impact of Olivia's death. The youngest daughter, who was only 11 when her mother died, said, quote, "I'll forgive you one day, but right now I can't." Throughout the trial, the prosecution described a history of abuse that finally blew up. Defense attorney Ryan Getz argued a different version of events.
I think that we'll never know what happened in that room. Ultimately, my impression from the jurors is that they just didn't believe Chris's version of events, and that really only left the one alternative.
This was an emotional day for Olivia's family. As they were leaving the courtroom, they were encouraging each other, saying, "Today was all about Olivia, and she won."
Christopher Jones is currently serving his sentence in the John M. Wynn Unit in Huntsville, Texas.
So I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. But like I said, y'all, vengeance is the Lord's, man. You got to understand, God is the God of justice. So he got justice. You know what I'm saying? So, that's all that should matter. Got justice, and hopefully he changed and turn to the Lord for sure. So yeah, man, sad, very sad and unfortunate video right there. Saying long live Olivia, man. Like I said, y'all never ignore the red flags, y'all. Please never ignore the red flags, bro. You know what I'm saying? If somebody, and you know you better than anybody in the world. You know what you deal with. You know your biggest pet peeve. Some of y'all, that is crazy. Let me go and backtrack to what I was saying. A lot of y'all don't know yourselves. It's a lot of people that truly don't know themselves. So that's why when they get with another person, you don't even know this your pet peeve because you really don't know your biggest. That's what I'm saying. Before you get with another person, bro, start to learn yourself. See, for me, I know myself, bro. I'm learning within. So this wisdom that I got, this understanding that God blessed me with, this knowledge that God blessed me with, I'll be trying to give it to my audience. Because it's rare that you see a 23-year-old speak like this. I pray for wisdom. I pray for understanding. I pray for knowledge. I pray for that every day. God gives me that. So it's like God showed me, okay, before you get with another person, first you got to be right with me. That's what a lot of y'all got to be. First you got to be right with the Lord. Got to be right with God first. You ain't right with God, bro. You got no sense of direction. It ain't gonna work. Then after God, you gotta be right with yourself, my brother and my sister. You gotta be right with yourself. Learn yourself. Spend time with yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Deal with what's within, so you won't have to deal with another person. That's the best advice I ever got, and that was from my pastor. When I went to his marriage counselor, my pastor, like I said, I listen to married people. It's another thing, y'all. Listen to married people. Listen to people with successful relationships. Stop taking advice from people who doesn't have a man, who can't keep a man, who doesn't have a woman, who can't keep a woman. Y'all be listening to advice from people who don't know nothing about relationship, but just because the voice is popular, y'all listen. But instead of listening to the proven voices. See, this world today then put up popular voices and demean proven voices. So yeah, just because this man is popular, I mean, we gonna listen to him rather than the proven ones. Whole time this man don't know what he talking about. He just speaking the real, but he ain't living it. A lot of people on social media that speaking that real, but ain't living it. Speaking about marriage whole time, you never been married. Imagine that. You want to learn about marriage? How about you start listening to people who's married?